A theater group comprising actors who were once homeless or in prison is touring the country in an effort to intervene in the lives of offenders leaving jail. But how can theater make a difference to the life of a convicted criminal? Jess runs across the kitchen and punches her mother's boyfriend Paul. He reels away from her almighty right hook. The family begins to disintegrate. Jess ends up pregnant on the streets. It's like EastEnders, and then some, and with a very unusual audience. The front rows of the chapel at HMP Wandsworth are full of inmates cheering from the moment the narrator warned there would be strong language, violence and scenes of a sexual nature. "Can you handle it?" "Go on, ask us again," jokes one of the inmates. Glass Shouse, the play by the Cardboard Citizens Theatre Group, is on tour to jails, hostels and venues nationwide. This is theater with social conscience. Glass Shouse charts the consequences when a family falls apart. Prisoners Cardboard Citizens invites inmates who are approaching their release date to join the organization. And it's theater based on experience. Almost every member of Cardboard Citizens has been homeless. Some members are ex-offenders. One of them, Errol McLushan, formerly of HMP Pensionville, is at Wandsworth to talk to the young inmates about his experiences. The 15-year-old theater company takes its shows inside jails to help prisoners go straight once they're outside. "Change is hard to do when everyone around you thinks the worst of you," is one of Jess's best lines in the play. It's one of the few moments when the prisoners are really quiet. The government has already embarked on what it says is a rehabilitation revolution, although it could take years to make any difference to stubbornly high reoffending rates. The factors or pathways in reducing reoffending are well documented, and one of them is to prevent people leaving prison becoming homeless. So how can a theater group do anything about that? Radical theater. Inmates and performer at Gas challenge the inmates to improvise new scenes with a better outcome. Glass Shouse isn't just a performance, it's an invitation to the audience to challenge the script and change the outcome. After the show finishes, the cast get the prisoners to debate each character's problems, actions and mistakes. Then they challenge the inmates to stop the action, come onto the stage and improvise how the scene should have played out. This theatrical technique was developed by radical Brazilian dramatist Augusto Boal, who believed that the stage is a forum for social change, reaching out to the most marginalized in society. So the actors reach out, the inmates are invited up, and by the end of the afternoon they're all talking about what they would have done differently. It's all rather subtly done. Nothing heavy-handed, no probation-type assessments of how well the prisoners have engaged. And then the really clever bit happens. The inmates who are due out soon are asked to sign up. When they walk out of the prison gates, Cardboard Citizens will chase them to come to a workshop where they will get the chance to talk about their life, act in roleplay and receive impartial advice on how to move on. In the last year, almost 500 deeply marginalized people, some with extremely complex problems, have become members of Cardboard Citizens. About 1 in 7 of those is already in a job, education or training. Giving courage. "We can't give them a home, but we can give them courage," says Rowan Rutter, one of Cardboard's producers. Cardboard Citizens performers. Most of Cardboard Citizens performers have a history of homelessness. We function as a vehicle to bridge the gap. What we offer is a safe space for people to be themselves, to speak freely, to educate themselves and to find a way to reintegrate themselves into society. Jo, one of the actors at Wandsworth, was living in a hostel when she came across Cardboard Citizens. 6 years later, she is taking part in her 4th nationwide tour and explains how art helped her to address her life. "I was always hiding my problems or pushing